Oh no, for legal purposes. Give me a disclaimer.
It's official now. Oh, and I don't know if you saw my post, but apparently Alexa does understand Latin jazz because she's been playing all different kinds of jazz I've never heard before. So it's just like popping, more energetic, and so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I've been a Latin jazz enthusiast for about 35 years of my life, and I had a comment. A friend of mine made a comment once to me. He says to me, "Do you ever listen to music with words, lyrics?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
It's all instrumental and it's all jazz. It takes me to a place that no other type of music can give me, especially with words.
Yeah.
I just love my jazz, and 35 plus years listening to Latin jazz, and I love it.
Well, can't go wrong then. 35 years. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Hello, and welcome to this awesome live today. We are so glad that you can make it. And as you probably already know, I'm Sharon, serial entrepreneur. And today I want you to meet Gabe. He will be discussing educating teachers how to start, grow, and earn six figures using ClickFunnels. He also teaches ESL English to kids in China online. Welcome, Gabe.
Hello. Nice to be here, Sharon. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. So do me a favor as you're watching live, do #live and and #replay. I'd also love for you to put in the comments where you're listening from, because it's always nice to hear where everybody is at. I'm in Dahlonega, which is the North Georgia mountains. What about you, Gabe?
I'm sorry, I really couldn't hear the last part. What was that?
I'm in Dahlonega, the North Georgia mountains. Where do you live?
So I'm currently in Ecuador, and I'm like deep in the country in Ecuador, a small town called El Empalme.
Wow, that sounds. I cannot say that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Really try.
It's Spanish.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get started talking about your business. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, right now, I happily still do online native English teaching. I teach kids in China from pre-K to the age of 10 years of age. I teach them ESL English, and I do it online every day, Monday to Friday. I rise at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I work up until 8 o'clock in the morning. And it's just a thrill to me. I work for these guys right here, Bling ABC.
Yeah.
It's the company that I've been working for now for over a year, and it's a thrill to me because these are probably the nicest kids that I've ever dealt with. They're very enthused about education. That's just a cultural thing in China. Like, education is very key.
Yeah.
I did the Latin American kids, and they're just belligerent. They're just like, they don't care, it seems,
I would think that would be the American kids too. They would not be interested.
I know. I feel fortunate because, I started to work online way before the pandemic in 2017. That's when I discovered online, education. And I started with the Latin American kids working for Open English Junior. And then I went on to VIPX, which is one of the big guys in China. But that didn't work out for me. And then I landed with Bling ABC last year in October, because I was notified that I'm already a year with them. So this was before the pandemic. And then in January of this year, when the pandemic was like big news, there's an influx of teachers wanting to, get hired. They're like, hire me, please. And I'm like, wow. All for naught, because it's just really, they're dying. Teachers are dying online right now. They're not even making any money. And I feel fortunate because I'm already established. And a lot of people are just like struggling to have one student, two students, you know. God bless them, but it has not been an easy ride for a lot of online teachers, and I feel blessed. I'm like, all right, I'm happy for them.
Absolutely. It's such an interesting concept anyway.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot to be said about being a brick and mortar teacher. And let's say brick and mortar because pre-21st century, 1999 and before, you know, everybody is like Board of Education, and you become a teacher after doing all these university courses and getting your degree from a bachelor on. But then that's not good enough. You got to get a master's. A lot of them got PhDs. You got doctorate degree, you know, educators. And all this brick and mortar mentality has brought them to nothing, you know, because for whatever reason, teachers have been convinced that you do this because it's a calling, not because you're going to get paid. Like, that's crazy. How do you not want to get paid? You know, that's like, that makes no sense. So I'm a 21st century teacher. I didn't do the brick and mortar thing because, you know, I was actually, my educational background comes from being a voice and data network engineer. You know, I spent 16 years working on building the internet, you know, building networks. And I discovered this after 1999, actually in 1998, 99. And, you know, to be able to take my academic degrees and convert that into a teaching platform based on native English, because I was born and raised in the United States, that has benefited me so much that I try to tell teachers nowadays, and this is why I have my community, you got to change the way you think.
Yeah.
This is not brick and mortar. You got to do things different. You just got to do things different and value yourself so that you can get paid, because it's terrible right now. And this pandemic thing is going to go on until next year. Like, how much longer can you endure not getting paid?
Mm-hmm. That's right. My daughter-in-law is a teacher now, and I've worked in the school system, and it's the lowest paid job that I've ever had.
No. Okay, now, this may not be any of my business, Sharon, but I just got to know. Are you like a master's degree teacher?
No, I'm not.
Bachelor's degree at least?
So in my daughter-in-law, she's an assistant, so she's not either. But you know, you go through all of that, and the best payment was the hugs from the kids. I'll be honest. That was like the best part, and I was with them for 6.5 years, and the reason that I left really was because of the pay. I hated to leave the kids because every morning, because I was in an elementary school, and so every morning, Miss Sharon, you know, and they just love you, and because they're not to that middle school mentality yet, and so it was great, but it's not a very good paying profession.
No.
Just being in schools at all.
You know,
not even professors, to be honest.
We work pre-dawn hours up to 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the day, in the evening, early evening. We find ourselves many times doing lesson plans until 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
You know, and things have changed so much in the last 20 years. Let's say from 1980 to the year 2000, the teacher schema of things was, you know, just like that. You're working longer hours, but prior to that, you didn't have to put money out of your own pocket, you know, to buy materials. I remember when I was a third grader, let's say, back in the 70s, and, you know, teachers, although it was a struggle, they were still getting paid less, but there was some kind of dignity that came with that also. You know, you felt proud more, at least had more pride in doing that. After 1980, things started to change. You know, that value was less. the benefits were less. Now you got to put money out of your own pocket. The political aspect of being a teacher, like how do you drag a teacher to be a politician, you know? And then now you're fighting for the respect of having to educate and not valued at that high level as well. I was like, wow, that it has really changed. And this is why I do what I do now. I think that teachers should be doing 21st century niche education, not that 20th century brick and mortar education. You don't want to teach the whole spectrum of English, for example, of math or anything else. You want to teach that niche now, because that niche is going to bring you 6 figures.
Right. Well, let's get that then. Let's get to that part. Like, so do you have a mission that you work towards? Like, what's your mission or your vision for your career now?
Well, see, right now, my primary focus is on the teacher community to get them acclimated, you know, into thinking that they can, you know, go from brick and mortar to a digital arena, but not the way that they're doing it right now. Although I'm new in this arena, and I'm being in the teacherpreneur arena, okay, the digital marketing aspect of it. I'm not new in terms of wanting to earn 6 figures. And what I mean by that is that, you know, teachers right now are trying to use Zoom, for example. And as they use Zoom, they're getting frustrated because they have to be tech savvy and they have to understand how to create a room and how to bring in their student roles and do roll calls and how to load up a lesson plan. And they're trying to bring in that 20th century mentality into a digital space using Zoom, using Skype, using any other digital platform, but they want to try to control the situation the way that they do in the brick and mortar environment. You can't do that. I had a teacher on one of the teacher communities that I talked with make the comment that they had a rough day because one of the students' parents was walking around in underwear or something to that effect. And I said, because everybody was in an uproar, because, you know, now, you know, these teacher communities, this is your virtual water cooler. So this is where all that teacher griping and gossiping goes on, right? So I'm listening to I'm reading all this bad press, you know, and teachers are like, oh, I understand what you're saying and how dare them and this and that. And I made one comment. I said this: what do you care? The parents are paying for the lesson anyway. Everybody got pissed off at me. How dare you? And, oh my God, I mean, I got lynched. Now here's the thing, okay? And your question was, how did we get into 6 figures and whatnot, right? Here's the thing, right? It's all about the mindset, like I keep saying. I work for the Chinese, okay? Very few times do I see anything other than a parent who's not wearing his shirt, like a father. Very few times do I not see that. I see that often. They'll parade up and down. And I'm like, I don't care. Because they're paying me to give the lesson. That's my focus. I give a lesson, highly effective lesson, you know, high value and focus with the student. Whatever's happening behind there, I don't care. You shouldn't care. Because again, this is not the regular classroom. This is virtual. So this is what I mean by adaptation, right? They're not adapting that mindset where they should be thinking, okay, I have less that I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about the student behavior. I don't have to worry about the lesson plan. I don't have to worry about, you know, the syllabus. I don't have to worry about the parents. All you got to worry about online is the lesson and the time it takes to complete that lesson. That's it. These teachers, they want to do everything. They want to do everything like they did before. You can't do that.
Have that control.
Be happy that you don't have to do that anymore. But see, The reason why they can't do that yet is because they're working in platforms like Zoom or Skype, or I think it's called Google something. I know Microsoft has a
Google Hangout.
Yeah, Google Hangout. Or there's also a Microsoft Meet. You know, everybody has a virtual platform. And the thing is that they're being controlled by the Board of Education, and they're telling these teachers, here's your login, this is what you got to do, etc. In my community, I'm teaching and I'm showing teachers, now that I really understand my framework, you don't have to do that. If you just build your own community and you niche it down, you could be an English teacher, but what English niche do you want to teach? English literature, grammar, phonetics? Do you want to teach specifically pre-K to, 4 to 6-year-olds, 14 to 18-year-olds? Are you a math teacher? Are you a vocational school teacher? Niche it down, choose your demographic globally, and then all you need is to create that virtual campus on Facebook, like you and I are learned to do, build trust, and provide a high-value free lesson. Your students will come as long as you have a good lead magnet, as long as you have that attractive character, build that trusting community on that one niche and stick to that one niche. Only talk and build on that one niche. And if you can generate 100 students, you'll be able to earn 6 figures. Why? Because if you build that teacher funnel, that membership funnel that we built, and you create, and I suggest 4 lessons, 4 modules, 4 lesson plans each, that's 16 lessons, with the PDF workbook or the lesson plan, with the video, self-paced, include a Zoom, checkup call, 30 minutes a month, okay? Self-paced for 30 days, and you only charge $97 a month. 100 students times 97, that's $10,000 a month.
Right.
That's 6 figures. And you don't even have to work as hard. You got to just set the framework, which I provide the 4-month, 120-day step by step to build it out. And then what do, Sharon? You and I do the same thing, right? We give you the membership funnel. You don't even have to build it. All you need to do is have a ClickFunnels account, and we import it to your account, and now you just change the banners, the pictures, the color, the text, but you have the framework, and launch it. Register a domain and launch it. That's it. Now you have a private funnel with 100 students, $97 a month. And again, this is what most teachers don't want to understand. Some teachers want to charge $5 an hour. Some teachers want to charge $100 an hour. You don't have enough students who can pay that. If you get 1 student for $97 a month, high value niche education, and you can get 100 of them, yeah, you're going to make 6 figures. You can't do it on an hourly basis. This is not the 20th century. This is the 21st century. So this is what I've been telling my community and showing them now to try to get them to feel more alive. The pain points are there, and it's tough for them right now.
Gabe, I can tell that you've said some things that some people are going to say, niche, what is that? Or funnel, what is that? Can you explain a little bit what those are?
Yeah. A niche is a facet of a particular subject. So, in my case, I like ESL, English as a second language, and I can take that subject, which is broad, and break it down to a smaller segment into specifically pre-K, 4-year-olds to 6-year-olds in China. That's a niche. So if I go onto my Facebook communities and I look for Asian pre-Ks to 6-year-olds who are looking to learn English or are learning English, there's a community that congregates talking about that particular subject or niche.
Yes.
If I'm a math teacher and I'm looking to, teach Algebra 101, just to give you an example, but not just Algebra 101. Let's talk about, students between the ages of 12 and 16 who live in Latin America. That's a niche.
Mm-hmm.
That means that you are segmenting that subject and focusing it on a particular demographic so that you can attract that dream customer of yours, that student of yours. And it's a no-brainer because they're already in Facebook, congregating, having that conversation, looking for a teacher they resonate with so that you can bring them back to your place and give them high-value niche education.
Yes.
I don't think the 21st century is going to be like it used to be. I mean, even high-quality schools and universities are, converting to the digital arena, like Harvard, like, California, Berkeley, MIT, any community college. Global colleges are converting to the internet for that purpose because that's the generation that we're in right now. And a funnel, a funnel's a sales process, okay? A lot of people over the last 20 years have built websites. I don't know if you ever built a website. I have. We've built websites, we've registered domains, we've used WordPress, Wix, and prior to that, any other web builder because, when the year 2000, from 1999 to 2000, when we had that 2-digit end of the world issue, I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right? Man, they were selling websites for big money, because everybody was like, oh my God, I can't do that. So somebody who just learned how to do that, who didn't do it right, was charging $5,000, $10,000. The whole internet became saturated with over 1 billion websites in this last 20 years that are non-functional. Now, they're non-functional simply because, they were done incorrectly or badly. A lot of them were. But simply because, just like anything else that has become obsolete, right? DVD players, the cassette tape, the 8-track tape from my day, the black and white pictures when I was born. VHS, sure. Even the last 20 years, we went from little phones to smartphones in 20 years, and it's been a big change. So websites have become obsolete in the sense that they're not as functional as they used to be. And the shopping cart concept is not as functional as it used to be either. So right now, anybody who jumps on the internet will start seeing the word funnel a lot more than they did 2 weeks ago, and definitely a lot more than they did a year ago. And the reason is because funnels, the way I've learned it and understand it, is that it's the new website terminology. Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels, they launched in October of 2014 with the funnel technology, the funnel philosophy of website building. And what it is it's a layered sales process. So instead of having a static web page with the menus across the top, and then you mouse over and it comes down and says you want to go here, and you keep traversing this website, looking at stuff, and then you're like, I'm out of here. A sales funnel doesn't give you an opportunity to do that. A sales funnel, which is a website, because it's built on HTML coding, most of them start with a landing page, a squeeze page, a very attractive, hi, this is me. And because you're here, I want to give you something for free. Because you came here. So it could be a PDF file.
Yes.
It could be a teddy bear, If you want the information that's attached to this object, to this free gift, you got to leave me your email address, your name, and hit enter. I want to join in. I want to be part of this. And once you do, you get funneled through the sales process. Now, you go through your landing page or your squeeze page, and now you go into your main, let's say, bridge page. It could be the upsell page where you have a video. They call them VSLs, video sales letters, and it's now a presentation, but it could be a long form, it could be a short form, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, it could be 30 minutes long, depending on what you are offering. But it guides the person through this funnel or web pages, and it allows them to resonate more with you, the person behind the scenes, and what you're offering. In my case, I offer a free, lesson plans for online educators to organize and polish and optimize their Facebook, profiles organically without paid ads, how to resonate with their dream audience, how to generate leads, everything up until the point that you're going to make some money. And based on that, you give them more free value until they join your community, and now you keep building it. So, it's all about the value ladder, which is something that we've talked about and learned together. It's a funnel. It's not a web page. It's minimum 2-3 pages. 3 pages is nice, and you're guiding them through a good experience. It should be a very good experience, actually. Non-fraudulent, highly ethical, and it should not make any false promises, any false guarantees, because that's just like not cool. Don't do that. There's a lot of people who do that, and we fall for it because we're consumers. The consumer mentality is like, oh, it's shiny. I want that. And then when we end up spending 20 grand on something that we didn't want, we start crying about it and saying everybody's a scammer, But it should be a pleasant experience to get through this funnel, and less complicated than a web page. And that's what a funnel is. It's a sales process, a nice sales process.
Yes, just takes them straight through. So thinking of what you were talking about, like the website being more of a box, just like this open area, just like all the space, and you can just go and maneuver within the box all over the place, get lost, get tired, move on, not even do anything with the information or the product. So in the website, and then the funnel, literally, it's just like you would think, what's in your kitchen? It's a funnel. You're going to start at the top and you're going to work your way down. Yeah. So it makes it a very smooth, seamless process to learn. Yeah,
it is. And it's a process. It's not, it's a process of being relatable. It's a process of understanding your customer base, your demographic, because if you're going to be solving a problem for your dream customer, it's got to be something that, again, they relate to, and they feel like, I'm going to follow you down this rabbit hole because I trust you. I like what you're offering. I like the way you speak, and chances are when they get to the offer, which should be an exciting offer, it should be something that to them, it'll be like, yes, that's exactly what I needed and wanted. I'm going to pay for it, and not offensive. Most people are not going to get offended if you charge them, $5, $10, $100. As long as you're providing them high value through the process, the funnel, people will be more than happy to do so, and then testify to that fact.
Right.
I had a great experience here. You guys should check this out. And that's what a funnel should be doing for everybody who does it the right way.
Yes. So I know that you have a mission to be able to help teachers to do better, that want to do better, and to grow to the 6 figures and everything. So if you're talking to a brand new person that's going from old school teacher mentality, brick and mortar, into the new school teacher thinking, how much time would you think that they would need to spend a week, or what kind of investment do they need to make as far as time?
I provide a 4-month business plan, a 120-day plan. that any one teacher or educator, even if you're the most stubborn individual on the planet, you can pretty much adapt the mindset in 3 months, 4 months, because it's all based on truth and just fact. One thing that I've been saying a lot in my video lesson plans is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him do the cha-cha, because teachers are stubborn for whatever reason. We've got it in our minds that I got a master's degree. I ain't gonna buy into that junk.
Yeah.
And I say to you, good for you. I don't care. I mean, there's two type of people here in the 21st century based on what we're doing, and I like to look at it this way. We got consumers and we got sellers. We got buyers and we got sellers. But see, that's been the same thing for the last 5,000 years of humanity. You're always going to have more people consuming than those selling. And the hard work is in the seller side because, we're the ones who have to set the groundwork, build the foundation, innovate product and services and automations for the consumer to feel that, they're getting some kind of value for what their personal needs are. I provide that framework to the teacher, but I cannot obligate you to think this way. I can only provide you with the information and support you with that. And I'm okay with that as long as you collaborate because, my community is based on collaboration, not competition. Everybody wins or nobody wins. And actually, everybody wins because there's no such thing as no winners in my community. There can't be. If somebody comes and tries to compete, I kick you out because competition means only one winner. This is not that 19th century, 20th century mentality. We all collaborate to help each other ascend the value ladder, and whatever anybody has learned that they can share to help the other one rise, we collaborate and we do that because that's the focus, right? But in learning how to adapt that mindset, you have to now make that decision before anything. Do you really want to be a seller? Do you want to sell your educational experience, your academic achievements in a niche market and rise above your teaching personal expectations to be able to impact some demographic, a student, across the planet somewhere that you can say, wow, this is exciting for me. This is passionate for me. You have to make that decision because teachers are zombies right now. They really believe that, they don't have to do that, but yet, I'm going to read to you what teachers are suffering from. And I have a solution for this pain.
Okay.
Teachers are suffering from 401k issues, health insurance issues, low wages while having high degrees, student loans, which are unforgiven.
Yes.
The student loan is the only loan in the United States that is unforgiven.
Isn't that
and
horrible?
It is. And if you die, your family's got to pay for it, plus a death tax. Online over-promises, under-delivering. A lot of teachers are working 2 or 3 online jobs, plus their brick and mortar. Trading brick and mortar time for digital time, credit debt, not enough cash flow, mortgages in default, having to buy student supplies, non-profitable blogs or websites, having to do lesson plans, not enough online students. I mean, oh my God. Postgraduate degrees that are costly. A lot of them are still being suckered into spending money online to learn a new something, to get certified in something new so that they can still be employed by somebody else and still not make any money. You got to decide what you want to do. Do you want to be a seller or do you want to be a consumer? If you're a consumer, that means you're a teacher, you're an employee, you work for somebody else, and like Robert Kiyosaki says, you're in the rat race. You never get out of that wheel until you change this. When you change this, you're deciding already, I want to work for me, because you can. Take that experience, take that degree that you have and niche it down, build a community, impact the world, create a mass movement like Russell Brunson says, and then watch your income rise to 6 figures or better, because that's the magic. That's not going to happen before you create your foundation, before you change the way you think. And it's okay if you don't. Nobody's going to get mad at you. A lot of people don't want to do that because they find it to be hard work. But if you do it for 4 months and now you're an autopilot, you don't have to do it again. Like, it's done. Like, okay, now all you got to do is manage your time and be like, what do I do next? I got all this time in my hands. Okay, build another funnel. Yes. Build another niche, make another 6 figures in parallel. Scale your current business. You start with a 30-day membership and then increase the value ladder. Offer a 6-month, accelerated course at $500. Only 100 students per month, self-paced. Offer a one-on-one, personal lesson, where you could do this day to day and charge $1,000 a month. I don't know. The sky's the limit, but it's not about the money. It's about who you can impact based on your experience and degrees. I use this example a lot because it's true and it just works. The vocational school teacher, and I like using the plumber electrician teacher, who right now is thinking, how do I make money and schools are closed and I can't teach and I can't do this on Skype? You build a funnel. We got you a funnel already. Just do the lesson plans. I show you how to do the lesson plans. Just do the videos, put them on your funnel, put the lesson plans in there, okay? Generate 100 students, charge them $97 a month, and now you're making 6 figures over 12 months. I don't think there isn't a teacher out there who can say, I can't generate 100 students. The fact of the matter is, yes, they can. 100 students is not a lot of students.
Right. Not when you think about your online and your worldwide, not in the brick and mortar
Right.
thinking, yes, 100 students is like, oh my goodness, I can't manage that. However, the way that you have shown it here, where it is online, it is digital, and not only that, after this teacher goes through the training that you've set up, then they can put a lot of it on autopilot and just go back and be the manager of their business. So in that way, in that scope, 100 children is just a drop in the bucket. It's just so small. It's just like how you've mentioned Russell a couple of times, how he talks about, well, ClickFunnels only has 100,000 customers. I mean, my goodness, that's all.
Right.
And so, and they've been going for quite some time to even get to that. But you and I know what ClickFunnels has done, in those 5 years. But that just shows you how, just like you've said, you've got to change that mindset, because if you don't change that mindset, you're just going to be stuck in that brick and mortar for the rest of your life.
Right.
Doing that all day long work and grind. And I know teachers, we've got teachers in the family, teachers that are friends, and I just feel bad for them because I know it's just like you said, they're not making much to begin with. They're having to supply a lot of their supplies and their needs. They've got kids that come to school that don't have things. And so then out of the goodness of their heart, because that's what a teacher that's why a teacher usually becomes a teacher, is because they have goodness in their heart and they want to be able to help children. And so because they've got this kid coming to school and they're missing, you know, their shoes have got holes and now it's winter. So they go and buy them some shoes. I mean, I see it all the time. When I was in the school, that kind of stuff was happening all the time. And that teacher is going and paying all this out of their pocket. And so they've got all these things that they're doing, and yet they're still just impacting. Not to say that about 30 kids is not important, because of course every child matters, but impacting about 30 kids a year.
Right.
You know, and in the process that you're talking about, this same teacher could impact 100 and then branch out and impact another 100 and do another branch if she wanted to, or if he wanted to, and do another 100 and on for the rest of their lives. Just continue to branch out and it impacts so many more children in that way.
Sure. Yeah. Eventually, you become your own, let's say, educational academy based on a particular subject matter. You know, it can be broad, but, you know, the great thing is that, like you said, you know, teachers are altruistic at heart. And it's kind of difficult to be very giving when we have also limited funds. But as we're generating six figures, you know, it becomes easier to say, you know what, I want to donate or have a scholarship fund, let's say, for children, and fund it yourself, because, you know, the students' parents are going to find it easy to say, I can manage $100 a month instead of $100 an hour.
Right.
And you know, I did a search on Google to find out what teachers are charging online nowadays. And it was kind of like sad, because it was a broad range. It was from $5 an hour to $100 an hour. And the psychology between parents and students is, well, if we're going to pay $5 an hour, I mean, that's a cheap teacher. You know, I don't think we're going to learn much with them. And then they look at the $100 and like, that guy is like too expensive. I can't afford this guy for more than one lesson, not even one lesson. And then anything in between, it's like, it's give and take. You know, do we vibe with that teacher? What kind of reliability can we get? And again, it becomes an affordable issue. If we're going to be charging Harvard prices for you know, that's ridiculous. But when you say to a parent, I'm providing you 16 lesson plans, I'm providing you the PDF workbook in digital format, I'm providing you the accompanied video lesson that I give that lesson to that student that's attached to that PDF. I provide your student, your son or daughter, with a Zoom call, personal Zoom call, to answer your questions throughout the whole month for $97. You know, it kind of starts to feel like, are you serious? You can do all that for $97? The answer is yes, a resounding yes, simply because of what you just said, which is it comes from the good nature in our hearts, right? We have this need to want to be accommodating, to want to help as much as we can, because that's why we became educators. So if $97 a month is not a price point that parents can say, wow, I'm getting a lot of value here, I will, you know, put my son or daughter in this self-paced. And again, that, you know, I think that's important. And I say self-paced, I'm going to emphasize this, because I don't think a teacher in the 21st century should be, you know, in front of that student for an hour doing that lesson. Empower the students, you know, to manage their time. That's why it's self-paced. 16 lessons in 1 month is not a lot. But, you know, in today's time, kids are more distracted because, you know, they're all digital too. They're doing other things. Let kids be 21st century. Don't try to keep them in that 20th century mentality, one. And two, don't inundate their brains with a lot of material. Give them the specific lessons that'll be complete for 1 month. Let them do it self-paced. They'll call you. They have to. It's part of the program. They pay for it. Let them or empower them to self-assess. How am I doing? Did I learn something this month? Because if you didn't, that's not my fault. I gave you the lessons and my time. You didn't call me. You didn't do the work. This is 21st century, okay? I'm not going to hold your hand, all right? I'm sorry. I have other students that I'm trying to educate as well.
Right.
So I think that's important, you know, to empower the kids, you know, and make them feel like, wow, I'm accomplished. I took this 30-day, you know, lesson. I learned something, because they should learn something. That's the whole beauty of a niche. You know, you are going to impact them with an amazing high-value lesson. And when they complete that lesson, you got another one waiting for them in the back. Another 30 days, you know. That's going to change the whole schema of online education. And I really hope to impact the world with that, because, you know, my goal is to educate 1% of the 1% of global educators to do exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And that's about 200,000 teachers right now. So if I can get 200,000 teachers to sign up with me, all right, I'm going to get you on board.
No problem. You're working your way right to that. So, well, let's go ahead and talk about how can people find you, Gabe?
Well, on Facebook specifically, ODE Mastery, ODE Group, Facebook Community of Teachers, or my name, Gabe Rivera. You'll see me on Facebook, or through Sharon Crawford, because, you know, she knows my address online. But yeah, I'm always there. You know, I've actually become an active participant in my community since I opened it up about 2 months already, and it's growing. And I really want to be there on a daily basis to talk to everybody who comes through. So yeah, I'm always there.
Okay, great. So I guess we'll go ahead and close up today, Gabe. I'm really appreciative of your time. I felt like we just touched on so many things and made me think about some stuff actually I had not thought about before. So that's always good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any
know,
last things?
If anybody wants to take advantage of my free course, I'm providing a free course. I have 4 modules. I have, I believe, last count was 16, 18 lesson plans, all free. How to optimize your Facebook and convert yourself into a 21st century educator, so that you can get on board with the 4-month, you know, lesson plan to get you on board, earning better dollars, giving value to the future students. It's a free lesson. It's a free course. You can contact me for that, and I'd be more than happy to let you beta test it. Because right now I'm beta until the middle of November 15th. I might extend it. But right now I'm giving it away for free.
Yeah, I'll sign up for that.
I want people to check it out, teachers to check it out, and talk to me about it, so that I can, in the process, tweak and make it better. You know, but once I get 100 teachers, you know, on board and getting them acclimated to, you know, earning better dollars by doing a niche business, then I'll think about charging. But right now, I'm providing it for free.
Yes, that's awesome. That is great value. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to say before we end up?
No, but you can snap a picture of me if you want.
Okay. All right, Gabe, it's been wonderful. I appreciate your time.
No, thank you very much, Sharon. And I hope to interview you on my channel sometime in the near future.
Soon.
Okay.
Bye. Talk to you later.
Take care.